think we're
Okay, I
live.
nearly finished chewing the chewy thing.
Oh, we are live.
Oh, we are live. Hello, everybody. Brennan here. I'm joined this evening with Zed, Rook, Brightside, and Donut is being the lovely person streaming for us. Streaming some Sanic.
Like a silent protector of streams.
Yes, welcome to the 6th episode of the VGZ podcast.
6.
Obviously, since this is the 6th episode, we decided that we would go, do the podcast on Monday because we wanted to confuse everybody, and I think that was the only way we could have done it most effectively.
I'd like to point out I had nothing to do with that. Brennan just said we're doing it tomorrow, and I kind of...
For the record. Yeah, no, I was exhausted, in transit back from PAX, so here we are. Thank you all for joining us this evening, or if you're watching on the YouTube channel, thank you for joining us. Whatever time of day you happen to be watching
Thank you for joining us at all. Really.
Yeah, thank you for joining us all 5 of you, which is probably one of which is probably at least me twice. But anyways,
That's encouraging.
Yeah, no, right, let's get right into it.
I apologize that you're lost now.
Let's get right into it. We usually start off, of course, with the releases of the week, and this is actually a pretty big week in releases for video games.
There's some kind of like first-person thing coming out.
Yeah, just a small one. Also,
like
of course,
like a Halo of Duty or something. I don't
Isn't
know.
it like Game of the Year? Like Walking Dead, something.
no. Actually, so first of all, on Sunday, of course, Luigi's Dark Mansion came out, and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon came out. So hopefully, if you were interested in those games, well, not over there, but you don't count. So, in America, those came out on Sunday.
We still don't have Fire Emblem.
Yeah. Although, of course, on Friday, I was able to buy it at PAX, although I didn't. My brother bought Mystery Dungeon. I haven't bought either of them yet. I was buying other stuff.
Was your experience with them the same level of condescending that it was for me? Like, I walked by, and they were doing like a quiz, like trivia, and they're like, in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, you play the game as a what?
Oh,
that's right, a Pokemon. And I'm like,
that was in their little. You're talking about their little booth on the second floor, right?
Yeah.
That was a different thing from where they were selling the game.
Okay, well, fuck them anyway.
But yes, they were condescending as fuck. I agree.
Epileptic. You play
absolutely.
the game as an epileptic.
You probably should.
No, that's in real life.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
No, Porygon, stop!
And then they banned that episode.
Each copy comes with a pair of tweezers so you can pull out your own tongue to prevent choking on it.
There you go. It's a great thing. Or a tongue depressor. Anyway, so actually coming out this week, of course we were talking... Yeah, no, right? Of course we were talking about BioShock Infinite, which apparently on Steam is already out in some regions. So you're probably already playing and not listening to us. Also coming out this week, you have the Army of Two Devils Cartel, which actually really kind of like came out of absolutely nowhere, in all honesty.
It's the worst week to release a game.
Yeah, it is kind of one of the worst weeks to release a game with BioShock Infinite coming out. Also coming out this week for on PSN is Terraria, apparently. I didn't even know that was coming out on PSN.
I thought it was whatever.
That might not be valid. I'm gonna have to look
Starbound
into
is
that.
not out yet.
Terraria is coming out on Xbox Live Arcade on Wednesday, so maybe it is coming out on PSN. I didn't think they were releasing it on PSN. Interesting. Also, Harmonite is coming out on the 28th for the 3DS. And let's see, also Tiger Woods PGA 414. I don't know how much you love that golf game.
Yep. Can't even make a joke about that because I'm uninvested.
Does it have like a serious mode where you can drive around in a little golf buggy yet?
No, they should add that though. They need to add that, absolutely.
It was the best part of Vice City.
Just make a Caddyshack game.
Yeah, there you go. Also coming out this week for the Vita, that's the only Vita release this week, is Machinarium. So go and buy that if you want a Vita.
Support of indie developers.
Well, yeah, that is actually, and what else was released? Limbo was announced this week to be coming to Vita. So I mean, they're really pulling in like everybody.
I found out all those shitty games I made like over the last year are going to be on Vita. So I mean, they're not really. That was a joke.
That would have been pretty cool. I would have.
I like how you tried to advertise your own stuff as those shitty games I made.
Yeah, I know, right? That's pretty funny. And then looking forward to later this week and into next week, apparently Aliens Colonial Marines for the Wii U is coming out. So, rush out and buy that one. Coming out next week. Yeah, no, right. Coming out next Tuesday, though, is Defiance, which is that Triton game that nobody actually knows anything about, based on that has a Sci-Fi Channel show that's going on at the same time.
Yeah, decisions made in the game by players are supposedly
the show.
Be like, in the show. So
well, that'll be
might be interesting. Well, no, it might be an interesting thing. We'll see.
I'll tell you this: out at GameStop, our demo reel is actually showing in-game footage of Defiance. And as a game, it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty fun. It's pretty interesting as far as just like some of the basic concepts.
Right.
But no one has seen anything about the show.
Interesting. Yeah, the show has been... I saw one commercial the other night late in the evening when I was watching television.
Yeah, so as a game, I think it might not be terrible. I think it'll just... honestly, I think it'll just get lost in the MMO masses because there's so many of them now. But...
Yeah.
I don't think the game itself will be terrible, but I think the show is going to bomb.
Yeah, probably.
Apparently Slender's out tomorrow.
Oh, yes, Slender, the Arrival. Yeah, woo.
No, I'm excited.
Sorry.
Fuck you guys.
Oh, okay.
Please don't be.
Have fun.
Why not?
Also coming out next week, which I did want to actually talk about real quick, just to touch base on it, and then I'll actually talk a little more about it, is Battle Block Theater, which is the new... Behemoth game coming out for Xbox Live Arcade only, unfortunately, April 3rd. And I'm actually, that'll roll us right into our PAX coverage, because obviously we were, actually had two people of ours at PAX this year.
Four,
Rook.
actually.
Who else was there?
Nobody who matters.
Failed Parachute and Q.
Oh, I didn't know Q was there.
And QT was there, apparently. Like, nobody fucking talks to me about this shit. I don't know.
I don't really care about QT. I didn't know Q was there. I would have pulled Q in to come fucking talk.
Oh god, Deadpool was there. Oh god, Deadpool.
Deadpool, please.
Deadpool, what are you doing? Deadpool, stop.
What is he doing? Oh my god, what the fuck is this?
I don't know. I think he slammed on his keyboard by accident, or it's his cat. Anyways, that he came right back. Fuck.
Oh god.
Anyways, no. I'm sad that Q was there and didn't say anything when you and me were talking about it last week.
Maybe you were just sad that Q was there.
No. But me and Rook had a good time together. But anyways, I know Rook was manning a table in the tabletop area all weekend. Well, at parts during the weekend. And
for a majority of the weekend, really.
Yeah, for a majority of the weekend. But anyways, so PAX has changed quite a bit since the last time I went. Because I went in the first year, and this was the fourth year. It has changed quite a bit. The convention center was massive. I mean, it's just hard to really kind of put into your mind how big this place was in comparison to the old place, for sure, but just in general. A lot of waiting in lines. Unfortunately, this time around, not a lot of new stuff that hasn't been seen before in a lot of different respects, and I was sad about that.
Didn't you get to play Saints Row 4?
No. So a lot of this, and this is what actually did tick me off a little bit. A lot of the things that happened at PAX this year was not you playing games, but it was either A, somebody playing a game and you watching, or B, just videos. Case in point, the Watch Dogs booth.
Oh my god.
So on day one, I walked past the Watch Dogs booth, and I went, oh, okay, we should check that out. We should come here first thing in the morning tomorrow because there's a long line and it looks like the wait is like 3 hours long. So on day two, on Saturday morning, me, Kathy, my brother, and one of our buddies came with us, and we got in line immediately, and we got in about an hour after waiting. We got it to the convention late, so it was a little upsetting. But we got there. We only had to wait like an hour. So we sit down. At first, I thought it was going to be like a guided demo. No, we sat down in this like theater. I'm like, oh, cool, okay, that's fine. I'm fine with this. as long as it's guided gameplay. Maybe they'll have a guy come out and play, a level or something that we'll get to see, and that'll be new, and it'll be awesome. No, so we got to watch a 7-minute video of the creative director rant and rave about how awesome this game you can't play yet is.
Well, it's not called Play Dogs, is it?
And then another 3.5-minute clip that we saw at the PlayStation 4 presser, just from different viewpoints. I was pissed.
It was actually less gameplay because
it was actually less gameplay. Yeah,
the PS4 conference actually was the whole level played out. This was just like
cuts of bits and pieces of it.
Yeah. I was so pissed that was the one line that I had the time to stand in that weekend.
Yeah,
and I chose Watch Dogs. All I got was this fucking lanyard.
Yeah, I got a lanyard that says Watch Dogs on it, and they were like, "But if you go over to our exclusive pre-order center, you can pre-order the game now and get a free T-shirt." And I was like, the T-shirt doesn't look that amazing. I'm not doing it. Like, I'm gonna pre-order the game eventually, but it was just one of those things where it was kind of like a slap in the face. Like, I've supported the game since I first saw it, and to kind of have that be what happened made me kind of go, really? That kind of sucks. Like, it looked like to me, it seemed like the video was designed for people who knew nothing about the game.
Yeah.
It is mildly perturbing that they're not letting anyone play it yet.
Yeah, that was also my concern. I mean, I'm still believing that it'll be a really good game. I'm not going to put any sort of negative thought on it yet until I see something else. But until I see something else, I am a little on the side of thinking that I'm concerned.
Well, like the sort of concern I've always had about Watch Dogs is is that actually sort of emergent gameplay, or is it just scripted stuff that happens?
They say it's emergent gameplay.
Well, yeah,
from
but
the
they're not letting you play
footage, from the PS4 footage, it looks like gameplay. You have context controls that pop up when you select certain things.
Are these things that you can do all the time, or are they just like, oh, you're in this mission, so we're going to make this train turn up, or whatever? It's kind of like,
apparently,
you're not going to let me play it.
It looks open world enough that it looks like the world is populated by these contextual objects.
Yeah.
So if you're in a mission or a one of these scenarios that just unfolds as you go through it, it looks like you have that available to you at all times.
Right. Something new that they did mention that they didn't mention before, and I'm kind of curious as to whether or not it's true, is that they said that the city itself has individual AIs running for each individual part of the city, and that they're all talking to each other constantly, allowing the game to sort of react to something that your main character does. That is what they are claiming is happening. It could be absolute bullshit, I think, until we actually get either a demo or the game in our hands. Nobody's going to know because they won't let us play it. And I'm thinking they realistically, if it is something like what they're actually claiming, maybe that's why they're not letting us play it yet, because they can't control it.
Well, to me, they can't control the schools of thought. There's either the gameplay is not what they say it is, or they think that most people who play it will be so shit that they won't actually see what's good about it.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's tough. That's tough. Now, speaking of that, I'm actually going to roll into the next thing that I stood in line to wait for, which this was actually on day one. Me and Kathy stood in line and waited for Elder Scrolls Online. I waited in a 3-hour-long line, and I got 20 minutes of gameplay, which actually was pretty good. And I got a T-shirt, so that kind of is cool. 3-hour line kind of sucked. The actual gameplay is actually something that I was actually kind of intrigued by. It reminded me exactly... It's basically if they took Skyrim and put it into a multiplayer game.
Isn't it third person?
Yes, but you can make it first person.
So you can play it in first person?
Yes.
Huh.
I initially played it in first person. Unfortunately, there was a lot of stuff that it's obviously in maybe mid to late alpha, early beta. There's a lot of animations that are missing still. Voices are still kind of wonky, but basically they sat me down. They helped me pick out a character. They let me pick a couple of races and a couple of classes. Or they picked me. I got to pick out of a couple of races, a couple of classes, and they basically just said, "Have fun for 20 minutes." And I wandered around Daggerfall, and I beat up some fucking giant monster thing, and it was actually pretty cool. The crafting system was cool. They did something kind of neat with it, where as opposed to like leveling up stuff pointlessly, like in like a WoW or other MMOs where you learn skill points and that sort of stuff, you actually earn by learn how to craft like weapons and shit by deconstructing weapons. And all the items in the game are craftable. So it's like pretty cool so far, it seems. It's going to be interesting to see how it pans out. T-shirt was pretty cool. Overall, it was a pleasurable experience. The unfortunate thing was having to wait in line for 3 hours. But it seemed
they didn't have a beta release date, did they?
They did not give a beta release date. They said coming soon, basically. TM.
Like, how can you stand in a line for 3 hours? There is no way I could do that.
So Zed, if you wanted to do any of the major things, you were standing in line for 3 hours. If you wanted to go to the Double Fine booth, it was 3 hours. If you wanted to go to the Assassin's Creed 4 booth, it was 3 hours. If you wanted to do the Nintendo thing, if you wanted to wait for the getting a Nintendo game, that was like an hour and a half. The panel lines, the panel queues were capped, and also all the rest of the queues were capped at various points. And the panel queues capped. If it was a very popular panel, the queues capped at like 25 minutes. In fact, the original the Blizzard presser at the beginning of the conference was capped out at, according to what I was reading, 23 minutes. Somebody recorded it from the moment they opened the line to the moment they closed the line.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, the thing is that I'm thinking, depending on how PAX Prime goes this year, because they're converting PAX Prime to a 4-day conference this year, they may do PAX East next year as a 4-day. And it would not surprise me, because you have to. They're ridiculous. The lines are crazy.
I think part of it had to do with the fact that they closed the expo floor at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
So
yeah.
Everybody had to get the shit done as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So the Expo was super crowded.
The Expo Center was only open from 10 to 6. Let's see. What other fun little things did I get to do along the way?
Did you play DuckTales?
I did not play DuckTales. I couldn't wait in line for 3 hours for Capcom. There's just no way I could do it.
I beat Mike Ross at Dive Kick.
Rook beat Mike Ross at Dive Kick.
But so did like a dozen other people. So
yeah, unfortunately, it was a little bit of a long wait to try to get into Dive Kick, and I didn't want to suck at it in front of a crowd of people, so I did not personally try Dive Kick, unfortunately. But I will be buying it because it looked fun as shit.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Turnip, I did not play DuckTales. I did watch somebody else play DuckTales because I was standing in line for another thing. Looked really good. Very, very looking good. Let's see what else. I did not stand in line for the Magic 2014 thing. I kind of do regret that. I did want to get those fucking goggles. They were giving out like goggles for one of the main characters, for the new main character. That
in and of themselves, like the quests that they had for some of the swag.
Yeah, so that's
like, you had to stand in those 3-hour lines, but there were 4 things you had to do. So
yes.
You would technically need 12 hours to do it.
Which is 2 days. You have to spend 2 days doing that shit. Yeah. I got basically, I think I have 230 street passes. I completed, I have almost I beat one playthrough of that. The game, the Rescue Me game, which was pretty funny.
Cyberpunk-y type thing.
My fucking Fire Emblem map, because I had Street Pass on, my entire Fire Emblem map has Street Pass people on it. The entire one, every single city that is available to have somebody be against you is currently filled. That's how many people were there with that. I played Pachinko for charity. I won with it too. There is a charity group that rented 5 Pachinko machines, put them out in the hall, and you paid $5, $10, or $20, and they gave you a set of balls, and you played. And I actually won. They had a gold ball that popped up occasionally, and I actually won that. That shit was fun as hell. Let's see. I played a shit ton of tabletop games personally. I got $30 worth of free games cards for the Might and Magic card game. I did play the WoW card game, and it was actually quite interesting and probably will be fun, except it's going to be microtransactions the game, so that will be kind of a unfortunate thing. What else? Tearaway had a little booth on the side. That's the Vita game that's coming out. I unfortunately did not get a T-shirt. My girlfriend did get a T-shirt, which I need to probably beat her up and steal from her. But they actually remind me of something similar to that of like a Media Molecule. It's sort of the same build. They're like they're like that, like sort of hipster sort of feel group, but you can't help but kind of want to play the game because it just looks cute. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So.
Kind of.
And then also I did go to the Behemoth booth, and we were talking about Battle Block Theater. I didn't get to play Battle Block Theater because I actually walked away for some stupid reason. But I did see they actually set up arcade cabinets of Battle Block Theater and Castle Crashers, which was cool as shit. And I did get a Bitey Bat hat, which is really cool.
Yeah, he was wearing that shit all weekend.
I was wearing that shit all weekend because it was awesome. It's, the Bitey Bat from Castle Crashers, but it's a hat. So it looks like it's biting her head.
Well done.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's see, what else? There was a lot of loud noises all over the expo hall, unfortunately, which kind of sucked. Because they had a wall set up in the middle, or it was towards the back escalators. And so, you'd be standing in line, and all of a sudden you hear, "Oh!" About 100 people yelling that.
And on that note, lol, how the fuck you gonna run out of digital costumes?
Yes!
How the fuck? I don't even. Scarcity commodity. I'm so infuriated by the fact that you can just choose, nobody after this point could get them because we said so.
Yeah, but then it makes them more desirable. Exclusive.
No,
getting fucking tickets to PAX is a bitch and a half anyway. I don't want to be a part of the select few of the select few.
Yeah. Literally, they sold out in 3 days, and I have a feeling next year they're probably going to sell it in a day.
That's mega super hyper exclusive. That's,
Yeah, shut up. No. Also, I have 2 Smite skins.
What
I did manage to snag Smite for the game Smite. I know somebody was asking me about Smite.
Smite. Are they working with Riot? Is that a Riot thing?
No. That
their characters are literally rips from LoL.
I know.
They have Wukong. They have.
Okay, it was Albs. Albs, I will send you. I have a exclusive Callie skin, Callie the character, and I also have the QR code. Although I have to figure out how to send you.
And a bad tattoo.
I have to figure out how to send you the QR code, but I have a QR code for an Alienware skin. I don't know how that works, but
shirt optional.
Yeah, it's high. It's made by High Res. It's made by the company, the guys who did Tribes Ascend, and Global Agenda. Let's see, what else? I didn't buy a lot there, unfortunately. I just didn't, there wasn't a lot there. There was a lot of vendors, but there wasn't really a lot of, stuff that I didn't already care to play or buy. And I saw there was a couple of really cool little indie games here and there.
Did you go to the Mega Booth?
The Mega Booth?
The PAX Indie Mega Booth.
There were
50 indie people on it.
There was indie games all over the fucking place. There was actually a whole section of the exhibit hall that was just indie games.
Yeah, there were a lot. I'm going to an indie convention, an entire thing just for indie games, in August, I think.
And there was a few really interesting. There were a few really interesting ones. There were a few kind of stupid ones.
Was Monaco there?
I don't know.
Because I want that.
I don't know. I'm sorry. That was one of those things where I kind of walked through, and there was so much there, and I kind of just kept walking, unfortunately.
I stopped by the Sauropod booth with my buddy who had backed their project for Castle Story, and that was the only time that I had been, invited to play a demo of the game, and then instructed that I would have no idea what to do, and that it probably wasn't worth trying. because it was so in depth. And yeah,
that's funny.
It's essentially Minecraft with a bunch of dudes that you control like an RTS.
Oh, do you guys? Yeah, that's right. You were talking. Where you? Was that the same thing you guys were talking about at the table? Because me and Rook sat down and played some Cards Against Humanity, which was fun as shit. Now, what were you? You guys were talking about some other thing that was basically just the Minecraft mod.
Oh no, that was Ace of Spades, but.
Oh, sorry.
Like there was another thing. Guncraft was what your friend was talking about.
Yes.
And how he was super disappointed in it.
Yeah.
I have no more information than that, though, so...
Fair enough.
No, if it ends in craft, just leave it alone.
Yeah.
But no, Castle Story did look really cool. Give that a look if you are interested in the freeform kind of RTS-style construction game. But yeah, it was super complex, very in-depth, and, interesting. But I don't know if I'd have the attention span for that.
Yeah. Let's see what else. They had the one thing I did thought was pretty cool. They did have their traditional console gaming space, and me and Rook actually spent some time in there just playing some came back with some PS3 and Xbox games. But then they had a classic gaming section which had some they had
we played PlayStation.
Yeah, we played All Stars.
All Stars, yeah.
We got to play All Star Battles and some Marvel, because who doesn't want to play Marvel? But there's a classic console section that they added now, so they added a separate room for retro consoles, and they had some really cool stuff there, which was really nice. They had some like stuff that they kept behind glass cases, unfortunately, but they had like a bunch of really cool retro stuff. They had some TurboGrafx set up. They had some Neo Geo AES's set up.
Did you see the classic arcade?
Yeah, no. I went to the arcade. They actually did a lot better this year with the arcade, I thought, than they did the first year, but that doesn't surprise me. All their arcade cabinets actually weren't only from Fun Spot, surprisingly. Because I was
kind of bummed that they were all like super retro cabinets, because I would have liked to see some like Virtual-Ons or something cool.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, the group that does that is very much so about the classics. They're not so much about the newer stuff. Like, that's sort of that group. ACAM is a lot about like 1970s, 1980s arcade cabinets, and not so much about 90s arcade cabinets and 2000s arcade cabinets. But yeah, I got to play a bunch of that. We actually fucking played the shit out of some Track and Field. Because they brought Track and Field, so we were playing Track and Field on our cabinet, and that was really sweet. And then the tabletop area in it was massive this year. Completely different from what it was before. Like, the first year we went, there was basically 2 rooms and a couple of, like, tables outside. This year, there was an entire section that was probably about, I want to say about a half to maybe a little over half the size of the exhibit hall of the expo area that was just tabletop. So
I mean, interestingly enough, that's actually all one big exhibit hall, and they put a divider up in it, so they got about a third to almost a half of the exhibit hall to themselves. Unfortunately, Magic the Gathering was taking up a really large piece of that real estate. Really. And I guess it was kind of necessary because a shit ton of people turned out to tourneys and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, it was Magic and D&D as well. D&D Next.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, I like Magic, so to me it was cool. I didn't play any while I was there. Although I did open up the starter packs. We played a bit last night before I came back here. And we played a shit ton of tabletops along the way, here and there, which was cool. Because they have a thing where you can, you trade in your ID and you can pull out any tabletop you want that they have and play them, which is really cool. So you can try out new stuff, and tables everywhere and shit like that. But yeah, so swag wise, as I said, it was just kind of unfortunate there wasn't a lot of swag this year.
I got a hat.
Yeah, I bought the Bitey hat from the Behemoth booth, which I really like. I got 2 Magic decks again this year because their swag bags had Magic decks again. They also had LOL rubber wristbands in them. which was kind of cool if you were a LoL fan. Like, my girl, Kathy actually has almost all of them, which is pretty funny.
Like 98% of our chat usually is.
Yeah, I know. But there really was a distinct lack of swag. I mean, the Peggle stuff was cool. I have 3 of the little Peggle aliens. I picked up 3 of them with their spaceships. I also have a little potato dude, which is also from there. I won a Razer Elite Pack, which is just basically a bunch of stickers and a nice thing. A mobile joystick for my cell phone, which is actually kind of cool. I can actually use it for my 3DS instead of applying the circle pad, which is kind of cool. I got a Shoot Mania t-shirt. I got an Elder Scrolls Online t-shirt, which is actually really nice quality. Some other like little couple of key codes for shits. But I think that was really kind of it swag wise. Moga, the mobile LOL codes. No, there were no LOL codes. Basically, they ran out after the first day. After like I think 6 hours of the first day, apparently. From what I was told, they did give like free. They give like free fucking lanyards out the rest of the time, but it wasn't really.
Everybody uses lanyards. It's just.
Oh yeah.
No matter what you do,
Monster
like,
Hunter.
have a lanyard.
Monster Hunter, the Monster Hunter booth, they had Monster Hunter lanyards and Monster Hunter masks, which were kind of cool. They were like, little paper masks. But I have one already, but they were giving out free Mogas. All you had to do is just sign up for their fucking thing. Like, you had to wait online for 3 hours, but if you waited online for 3 hours, you get this like $50 fucking Android controller. So that was kind of cool. But yes, the amount of swag was really lacking this year. It was kind of sad.
But, more importantly, did you have a good time?
Yes, I had a good time. I'm already planning on going next year. I just gotta wait for them to
all that matters
the
in the end.
trip. Yeah, no, it was a good time. Next time I need to plan out a little better. We got so fucking exhausted by the first day that the second day was just kind of like, it was so tiring.
Just be like, okay, we need to plan where we're gonna go and queue.
Yeah, next year. Yeah, I know, right? Next year, I'm gonna cross train before PAX, so I'm prepared to actually do all the fucking walking and shit. So there's that. But other than that, yeah, no, I had a great time. I know, Rook, you had a good time too, right?
Oh yeah, man, it was a blast. This is actually my opportunity to represent indie tabletop developers at a booth and sell some shit.
That has got to be the most niche thing.
No, it's not actually, because
indie tabletop gaming.
Where I'm from, the western northern corner of Massachusetts is kind of this, breeding ground for indie developers for tabletop games and RPGs and such. Yeah. So a lot of people came from here. We had some folks from New York. We had a dude from Canada. I met Scumbag Steve, who is apparently from Boston.
What, the actual Scumbag Steve?
Yes, yep. I shook his hand and took
a
picture with him. The guy in the pictures. He's a nice dude. And I felt really bad.
Oh, I also have a picture of the Katamari Prince on my phone somewhere.
He was there?
Yeah, he was hanging out and waving at us while we were in queue for the actual event, for the actual expo.
And then the king just comes and accidentally wrecks the place because he got drunk.
Yeah, he accidentally rolls up the entire place and throws it into a star.
And...
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're a star.
That's the best way to go, man.
He crushes the expo center with his strange bulge.
Yes, exactly.
His impressive man meat.
Yes.
Cosmic man meat.
You're forbidden from saying that ever again.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. Anyways, so
Cosmic man meat.
So that was sort of our overall impressions of the PAX conference. Now, there were a handful of announcements that actually occurred at the conference that I didn't really get to cover. We did talk about DuckTales.
Of PAX?
What?
A lot of other people telling me how great PAX was.
Yeah, well, you should go next year, Zed. Yeah, you should come next year. Get on that. Say it now. I'll buy... dude, the ticket's already bought for you, so I'm just saying.
God damn it.
If you can figure out a way to get here, you have a ticket. The ticket's the least expensive part. And a hotel room, so there you go. You have both.
Wait.
All you need to find is a way to fly up here.
Ticket in a hotel room if I show up?
No, you live in America. You got your own fucking ticket, at least.
And you have a job.
Yeah, maybe we'll work on VGZ press passes next year. Anyways, let's talk about the stuff that happened at PAX East that was announced at PAX East. Better not PAX East. DuckTales, and also, actually, more importantly, from my perspective, Dungeons and Dragons Chronicles of Mysteria. No, bullshit. No, shut up. Because Dungeons and Dragons Chronicles of Mysteria never got a proper port to the United States, and furthermore, it is using GGPO, drop in, drop out online, and a house rule system that allows you to change shit. And furthermore, it's going to have Wii U pad stuff for the Wii U pad, and it's going to be on Steam, PSN, Xbox Live Arcade, and the eShop.
More than that, though, does it have a pogo stick that is also a cane?
No, it doesn't have a pogo stick because a pogo stick is DuckTales. Does it have a duck
in a top hat?
Zed, shut up. No, so anyways, so that I am more excited about. But of course, I know a lot of people are excited about the DuckTales remake. As I said, I got to watch somebody play it, and unfortunately did not get to play it myself. I was not going to wait in line for the Capcom booth for that, because it just wasn't worth it, in my opinion. But it looked really good. The only thing is, it's a remake. It's an absolute bottom to top remake. It isn't like they're just bringing it over or porting it or anything like that.
They seriously better put some more content in.
I don't know.
Because
we'll see.
Otherwise, it's going to take me like 15 minutes.
Yes. Also announced at PAX East was the World of Warcraft Hearthstone game, or actually not World of Warcraft. It's actually just Warcraft, because the lore is actually based in Warcraft 3, not World of Warcraft, surprisingly. So
it'll
there.
Be good.
It actually, as I said, I played it. Me and Kathy played it. I kind of beat Kathy at it, and I feel bad about that because I probably missed out on a thing because of it. But probably she's probably gonna punch me later actually for saying that online about beating her at it. She doesn't react.
That's all you're beating her at.
Maybe she's not listening to me. Anyways, so yeah, no, fun little card game. Fun little card game. The unfortunate thing, no, I saw her smirk back at me for a second, so I'm concerned now. Anyways, fun little card game. I think it might actually be fun for people who aren't, WoW addicts.
It might be fun for the kinds of people who like card games on the internet.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Which apparently is becoming more and more of a thing more recently.
So Reaper is what you're saying.
There you go. I'm actually excited because I got $30 worth of cards for Duels of the Champions, which is the Might and Magic game, which I actually am looking forward to trying. Now that I have $30 worth of cards. But it is going to be microtransactions. They're saying it's probably coming out sometime this year. It's going to be out on both PC and iPad, with apparently they're working on cross-platform play. Woo. For those of you who don't give two shits about it, you're not going to give two shits about it anyways. And that was really kind of it. I know the one thing that did come out that I thought was kind of cool, Civ 5, they're going to be coming out with this free little expansion that allows you to research the XCOM project. So you can bring XCOM soldiers into Civilization. I thought that was a cool little thing. They also brought out some more details about their expansion that's coming out that I'm pretty excited about. But that, I believe, is the majority of everything that was announced, unless I'm missing something, and I don't believe I am. So,
for more event reports, look forward to Zed goes to Eurogamer and gets lost in London.
Yeah, there we go. That'll be fun. But, I mean, seriously, if you want to look at more PAX East content, just look at the thousands of
internet.
Yeah, just go on the internet and look at the thousands of other people who brought video camera equipment and hit people with them and shit across the fucking expo hall.
Hit people.
That's the one thing. The one thing I did hate, absolutely, positively hate about PAX East was all the motherfuckers walking around acting like they were important because they all of a sudden had press badges and that made them special. Those people pissed me off.
Are you jealous that we didn't have the VGZ press pass?
If we ever get VGZ press passes, we're going to be some of those guys.
Yeah, I was.
No, I'm not going to be that.
That's
yeah, but it'll
exactly
be different
how
when
we're
it's
going
us.
to act.
It will be. It'll be different.
Because we actually are better than them.
We are.
Yes, exactly. No, it was just one of those things where I'm standing in line and this one dude walks by, and he's walking backwards with a microphone in his hand while this dude is walking with this fucking contraption carrying a Canon camera, and a dude behind him is carrying a boom mic, and I'm just standing there looking at this going You guys look like fucking just douche nozzles. That's actually Kathy's word, not mine. She used it, which I was actually like proud of her on.
Eurogamer was full of those people.
Yeah.
Like anybody with a YouTube channel is just like, look at me, I'm important, and we're all like, no, you're not. Get in line, you fuck.
I will say this: I am disappointed that none of you in your group fucked tripping.
Oh what? No, I did, but I didn't want to get kicked out of the Expo Center. I actually watched a cop escort somebody out of the Expo Center, so that was pretty funny. Some like Asian kid who looked very upset that he was getting pulled out by 2 cops. So that was fun. Also, turn up. Luckily, so far, I have not gotten the PAX virus. Rook, are you suffering the effects of the PAX virus?
No, I inoculated myself early, by which I mean I got sick the week prior and then went with the tail end of the sickness, and I'm fine.
Cool. Awesome. I'm doing good right now. I might feel like shit in a couple of days. We'll see what happens.
This has been your illness report.
Yes. All right. So that was PAX East. If anybody has any questions, y'all can hit me up and we can talk about it at some point. But we're going to move on. Apparently Deadpool is awake. That's cool. We're going to move on and talk about stuff that didn't happen at PAX East that people actually care about. So first of all, I wanted to kind of touch about Nintendo. Nintendo just came out with apparently kind of did something recently. So for those of you who didn't know, Nintendo of America and Europe and Japan were very kind of particular about how to release games on.
You had to own an office.
Yeah, the eShop platform.
Physically have office space.
You had to physically own an office. Now, I think, who was it recently that, who was it that just released, that was releasing a game on the 3DS, and they bought an office to do so? I forget who it was. There was an indie developer. Just recently he came out about it.
Terry Kavanagh, maybe?
He was that dedicated to wanting to make sure the game got released on the 3DS. I don't remember who it was.
Could have been the guys who did Mutant Muds. That was quite successful.
I don't remember. Maybe, but that was interesting, I thought, and to see Nintendo's reaction to this is actually kind of interesting. So there's that. Also, furthermore, they also removed the sales threshold, which says that originally said that developers would not earn any money on their games until they sold 6,000 units. Apparently, is now also gone.
Yeah, and you can like set your own.
That sounds about as fucking unfair as it is.
So. Yeah. You can set your own prices and a bunch of other stuff, and
yeah. So these are all great things for Nintendo, especially with the Vita kicking its ass at the moment.
I was going to say the really jaded part of me says that they're only doing this because Sony has suddenly ramped up their indie support,
and it's very much a possibility. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. That is kind of a Nintendo move. We've seen that before.
Sony have just gone mental. This week they said that you can export to PSN and Vita via Unity now.
Hey, that's cool. The Unity framework is becoming a bigger thing, so that actually makes sense.
Dad, make us a PSN game.
Yes.
I could theoretically make a game that would run on the Vita.
That's pretty interesting.
I don't own a Vita.
Me neither. So I wouldn't be able to test it.
I'll test it for you. Promise. I'll tell you all the good things that happened. Yeah, I know. All right, moving on.
It'll either be the best game you've ever played, or it'll just brick your Vita. I don't know.
So I mean that's good. I mean, seeing that, I think a lot of people will agree is a good thing. All right, moving on to something that's a little more on the kind of like side. Apparently, it was announced earlier this afternoon that Team Ninja has been split into 2 groups. Apparently, group one.
Just to confirm, they're the Dead or Alive people, not the Devil May Cry people.
Right, they are the Dead or Alive people and the Ninja Gaiden people.
Hasn't that been like a rumor kind of circulating for the past half a week or so?
I think actually originally the rumor was that they actually were being kicked out of Tecmo Koei.
Oh.
Isn't that
they also did other end,
Itagaki leave?
Yes, I believe so, yes.
Like Mr. Game development rockstar who's never seen without sunglasses and a leather jacket.
Yeah, basically. So apparently, a man named Yosuke Hayashi, who I am actually not familiar with, I might have to look into him real quick. Oh, he was the current person who ran Team Ninja. So he was the one that had who was the head of Team Ninja in the beginning. He is going to be running Group 1, while Group 2 is being run by Kazuki Kichi.
Group 2 is just going to be run by a pineapple in a plant pot.
Shut the fuck up.
That just has the words "more boobs" written on it.
Yeah.
Spray paint.
Actually, well, no, this guy actually is the guy who directed Fatal Frame.
Oh, so the good team.
Yeah, so that will probably actually be the good team. So we'll see what happens there.
More boobs and please Nintendo help us fix our shit game.
Yeah, basically. That is kind of surprising because there are no games, as far as I know, that Team Ninja has pegged after Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge comes out for PS3 and Xbox 360. So, be interesting to see what happens from here. Just because since Team Ninja doesn't have any other games coming out, will this mean that maybe they're making some games?
New IP.
Maybe. We'll see. Maybe E3 will have something for us from Team Ninja. All right, moving on to our normal weekly segment, which I actually fucked up because I meant to put this earlier in the podcast. And that is, of course, What Has EA Fucked Up This Week? A recurring series that we are now in our 4th iteration of?
Probably.
No, I think we've been going since new podcast.
I don't think we did
it about 5 years ago.
Yeah, well,
fair enough.
Anyways, so this week we are talking about the Origin exploit that was discovered earlier this week / beginning or end of last week, and that is, of course, an exploit that I know many people are kind of hyping. I when I did a little more analysis on it, it's a little underwhelming, but at the same time, it's still allowing people to get access to data they shouldn't, and that's always a bad thing. This was an exploit in the browser that Origin used to allow you to surf either the Origin engine, or if you clicked on a link, it would send you to said browser. This is very similar to the Steam exploit that occurred that was discovered about 6 months ago. So basically, layman's terms, if you clicked on a link or you've navigated a link in their sort of web browser square thing, you could be taken to a bad site, and that bad site would then download a game, or download your game, but instead of just downloading your game, it would download your game and whatever else the attacker decided to make you download. This is obviously bad for obvious reasons, but...
You know what would be absolutely fucking amazing?
What?
If the only thing they used that exploit for was to patch SimCity so that you could play it offline. That would be the greatest thing. Like, the only extra thing it makes you download is that mod that turns off the DRM.
That would be pretty funny, actually, thinking about that.
They should have done that.
Yeah, they probably should have. But in reality, it was really just something that was really bad. And, don't click on links that are Origin links if you did ever want to do that.
And I maintain we didn't talk about John Riccatello last week because he didn't leave until Monday.
No, but he announced that he was leaving last week when their earnings came out.
We definitely didn't podcast that.
Yes,
definitely.
We did. No, we did.
I would stake. I don't know. What do I own? I would stake my foot. Pick a foot, and I will stake it on the claim that we.
I don't think you want to stake your foot. I can
stake your foot, but
I could
stake like the $300 Wii U.
Well, yeah, because I can live without a foot.
But no, we did talk about it. I could replay the podcast if you want. I've been meaning to fucking cut that shit properly and have it so we can put it on YouTube and give it to Venom so he can post it on YouTube. But no, I guarantee you we talked about the CEO stepping down last week because he announced he was going to step down last week, and then he did step down this week.
And I'm glad he's gone.
Well, I don't know. He did some positive things for EA in the beginning.
He made the money.
Yeah, but then they stopped making money, so then he started doing stupid shit. He started allowing them to do stupid
money.
shit.
They just made less money.
Right, but the thing is, making less money is always a bad thing for companies, for publicly traded companies. But anyways, EA's bag of dicks, so I don't know why I'm defending them.
I don't know why you
Also,
are either.
hello, Deadpool.
Hey guys.
Oh, not Deadpool.
Deadpool randomly joins the call. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good, good.
You sound kind of deflated.
I just woke up from a 4-hour nap.
Oh.
Well.
Was that nap on your keyboard?
Apparently.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, excuse me. Fuck.
That was impressive.
Yeah,
That was one to be proud of, and now it's recorded for all time.
Awesome. All right, moving on.
What is next?
Moving on to the next line in our story, and this is something Zed popped up with a few times. Apparently, a game called Big Blue, which is designed by the original Echo the Dolphin team, or at least some of the original Echo the Dolphin team, is currently having a Kickstarter. So I guess this is our Kickstarter of the news this week. Apparently,
I only
Big
said it
Blue.
once, but the sound kept reverberating.
Yeah, we can go with that. I see what you did there. Big Blue is apparently an oceanic adventure game set 1 million years in the future, in which players control every creature in the game world.
Tell them to stop being silly.
Blah, 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 blah. So it looks pretty much like Echo in big form. It literally just started a couple of days ago. It only has about $18,000.
I love that we're at a point where we can say it only has $18,000.
Oh,
That's
you
way
know.
more than I got.
Yeah, but
I only have £4.50. I mean, let's put some perspective on.
Right. No, I'm with you. They got some, cool people involved, I guess. It's if you liked Echo the Dolphin, I think you'll probably enjoy this, I guess.
Both of you.
Yeah, but all two of you.
Like the two people that could understand it, and then that one guy that pretended to just tells people he liked Echo.
Please stop insulting my heritage.
But
But Deadpool just wants you to think he liked Echo. He never played Echo. He hadn't got this guy can't even play Sonic. How's he gonna play Echo?
I owned
that's
Echo.
a good question.
That doesn't mean you're any good at it.
Oh, shut up.
So, the great thing that actually I have a great Kickstarter news this week that Homeworld Touch and Homeworld 3 has reached its $50,000 goal.
This is the thing that you told. Oh, okay, carry on.
Yes, it is currently sitting at $57,472 with 2 hours to go.
But it's still not Red Alert 2.
So they already released Red Alert 2.
Yeah, well, they should do it again.
Well, okay. Yeah, apparently, thank you, Princess, actually, and I guess one more little Kickstarter / I guess this is technically Indiegogo, but whatever, same difference. Skullgirls is currently over $600,000 and is going to end on Wednesday, and they've already reached a shit ton of their stretch goals and shit, so...
And if you haven't gotten your TF2 hat, make sure to give them your $100 right now.
Yes, go do that now.
For God's sake, shut
now.
up. $100 for a hat. Please don't make me find you and kick you in the lower region.
And then, I guess, wow, I actually have another Kickstarter story. But this will be the last one, I swear. Apparently, so there was a Kickstarter for a indie game called Kaiju Combat Giant Monsters, which is very reminiscent, in my opinion, of an idea of having, like, King of the Monsters in an online multiplayer game.
Is it anything like War of the Monsters?
What's War of the Monsters?
War of the Monsters was an arena fighting game on PS2.
Yeah, I guess so. Then I guess it's something similar to that. Sure, I guess it's something similar to that. I always thought King of the Monsters was fun because King of the Monsters was the Neo Geo game that I enjoyed.
Oh, it is? Oh.
Yeah, King of the Monsters is the Neo Geo game where you...
What Donut just posted.
Developed by the GameCube Godzilla team, which was inspired by War of the Monsters.
Well, there you go. Anyways, so they're making an indie game.
If I give them $100, do I get a hat?
No, unfortunately, they actually just their Kickstarter is already completed, so you can't get that anymore. Zed, I apologize. But apparently,
how do I measure my self-worth in digital hat form?
I don't know. But anyways, apparently, Wizards of the Coast is being a bag of dicks, and they sent them an infringement notice saying that the word kaiju sounds very similar to Kaiju Do, which is a collectible card game based on a Hasbro TV show.
But kaiju just means, like, giant monster.
Yeah, I mean, literally, kaiju means monster.
Like, there's a sort of wrestling league, there's like a comedy wrestling league called Kaiju Big Battle, where like the wrestlers are in these ridiculous huge plastic suits, and it's hilarious.
I love Kaiju Big Battle so much. It is the single greatest accomplishment of mankind ever.
Brendan, did you hear what their legal team sent back?
No, what did the legal team send back?
They literally said, "Yeah, kaiju means monster, you dumbasses."
They actually literally say that. Because
I don't think they
literally
said
and wanting $100 hat. I will have to find.
I don't think they literally said that. That would be stupid.
What they said was kaiju means monster, so it has no relation to kaiju do.
Said dumbass, literally.
I think you guys are mispronouncing it. I think it's kaijudo, like judo, but with kaiju in it.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's just Kaiju Do is the
Don't get
Kaiju Do sounds a little weird. I don't know.
Whatever. Kaiju Do, Kaiju Do, Kaiju Don't. You know.
Kaiju
Kaiju Do, yeah. Moving on. Just a quick little thing. Apparently, Final Fantasy X and X2 HD Remaster is coming to the West in 2013. You heard it here first. That's enough time for us to talk about it. You didn't hear it here first, but you know.
Heard it in like any of the millions of places.
Yeah. It's going to be sold together on PS3, bundled together on PS3 on a disc, and sold separately on the Vita.
Because you haven't experienced Tidus laughing awkwardly until you've experienced Tidus laughing awkwardly in HD.
Yes, exactly. And then moving on to the story that I really wanted to cover today, because I was actually really excited about this. This was going on at another convention that I was not at because it was in the Midwest. At the Midwest Gaming Classic, Hyperkin, the company that produces the not backwards compatible, but the third-party Famiclone, the Retron game console, announced the Retron 5, which is a 5-game platform for playing. Let me make sure I get all of these: NES, SNES, Genesis, Game Boy Advance, and Famicom games without an adapter, and is going to support save states, HDMI. Game Boy Color and Game Boy games because of the Game Boy Advance slot. Controller ports for the NES, SNES, and Genesis controllers, as well as its own custom wireless Bluetooth controller. The controllers will be remappable, usable cross-platform, and it uses HDMI.
So it's essentially just a PC.
No.
But with a cartridge slot.
No. Well, kind of, yeah. I guess it's a specific purpose PC. Apparently, they don't have a firm...
playing system is just a purpose-built PC, anyway.
Yeah, it's a purpose-built PC. Anyways, it is going to be coming out around July for less than $100. I will be buying it immediately upon pre-order or release.
Okay, important question. Is it region-free?
Yeah, it's going to be region-free.
So, like, I could buy one of those and then buy a lot of American games.
As region-free as you possibly could get. I mean, HDMI is, region-free technically.
Okay. I may have to get one of those.
I mean, it's going to be probably like $99. It'll probably end up being $99, but honestly, it will be 100% worth it if it does exactly what they're saying it does.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, the only reason they had to add a Famicom slot is because Famicom games are 60-pin, whereas American NES games are 72, and I imagine the PAL ones are 72 as well.
Yeah, no, the PAL NES carts were basically American NES carts. You could actually, if I recall correctly, you can put in PAL NES games into an American NES.
You can put, because it's a thing that we did, you can put American NES games into a PAL NES if you shave off the sides of the cartridge slot, because the
SNES.
NTSC cartridges are about 2 millimeters thicker.
You're talking on the NES side, I believe. SNES side, not the NES side, I believe.
Am I?
Or no, sorry. On the SNES side, they have a.
Yeah, that was
sorry,
American
my bad.
SNES.
Yeah, on the SNES side, it's the tabs. My fault.
No, because the
old school
SNES
of region
cartridges
locking.
Ridiculous. They're like little curved things that look nothing like yours.
Oh, and
they'll actually still fit though.
It will play Master System games in the Genesis
you'd hope
slot,
so if it
because
plays.
Yes.
Yeah, in the Genesis slot, because the Genesis would actually play Master System.
Yeah, the thing was you need a power-based converter on the Genesis, but obviously if you just flick a switch here, it'll basically work.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
Yeah.
I can finally play that copy of Outrun that I've got.
Nice. I actually have a copy.
Just buy a Mega Drive.
No, so Outrun. No. Master System and Mega Drive are two separate things, Ed.
Outrun. On the Master. Oh dear.
And the Master System. Yeah.
I actually own Master System, Outrun, and Space Harrier.
That's pretty cool.
I got a copy of Prince of Persia from a friend of mine at the time for 10 pence because it was for the Master System 2 and he only had a Master System 1, and rather than take it back to the shop from which he purchased it, being like 7 years old,
right,
he just sold it to me for 10 pence.
Right. Well, that's pretty sweet for you.
I think I've still got that.
God bless stupid kids.
I also got a copy of Ridge Racer Revolution for 50p once.
Wow. Oh, so anyway, so the one thing I did want to mention, I did have a couple of stops along the way while I was going to PAX. So I guess at this point we're done with the traditional stuff in the podcast, but that is our news story list. And I don't think Venom is on unless Turnup would like to join us, which he is more than welcome to, as he is one of our more seasoned veterans, if you will, of the stream. On my way to PAX and on my way back from PAX, I was able to stop at a few Goodwills and a few GameStops, and I was able to find some really cool stuff. Well, not really cool stuff, but some good pickups.
Was one of them a $100 hat?
No. I did pick up a copy of the original Grand Theft Auto for the PlayStation 1 for $1. That was cool. I did score a handful of Genesis games for like $3. Complete in case. One of which is actually a pretty decent condition of not for resale Sonic the Hedgehog with the actual instruction manual and shit. Which with the case is actually a little harder to find. I mean, it's not like extremely hard to find, but it's a little harder to find. And a copy of Jurassic Park for the Genesis.
Ooh, that's gonna be a fun stream.
Yeah. I also got today actually when we were driving home, I stopped at a Goodwill about 60 miles from my house and got a copy of Sonic Spinball, unfortunately loose. And a copy of Galaxy Force 2 for the Genesis. I actually picked up a few more Genesis games than I expected. And then I picked up, because I stopped at a GameStop along the way, I found a GameStop that still had some PlayStation 2 games. I was able to pick up Way of the Samurai 1 complete for $5.39.
That's a really weird price.
Way of the Samurai 2 for $3.59.
It's like they thought, you know what, $3 is just not enough. We're going to put 59 cents on there.
I know, right? Samurai Warriors 2 Empires, which is... I'm actually
basically
pretty
games
excited
about dudes stabbing other dudes.
Yeah, basically. Well, actually, and then speaking of dudes stabbing other dudes, I also picked up No More Heroes and No More Heroes 2, because I actually don't own copies of those for the Wii.
Oh,
so I picked up those.
Did you get No More Heroes 2 on the 360 or PS3?
No, I got the Wii U copies.
Okay.
No More Heroes 2 isn't on the 360 or PS3. That's a remake of the first game.
Oh, yeah, it's a remake of the first game.
Told.
Apparently the remake is it has a couple of extra stuff, but apparently it's not as good because the controls are kind of wonky. Apparently, from what I've been told.
Yeah, and who in the fuck wants to do that?
I do because I wanted to play Johann Sebastian Joust. And they were all like £5 for like 4 of them.
Oh, well, I already have it, so...
Move control. I have nothing to play with it, but I have Move controllers. I might get Time Crisis or something.
I also was able to pick up for, I think, combined $12, both Tony Hawk and Tony Hawk Underground 2, Tony Hawk Underground 2,
The last good Tony Hawk games.
Yeah, no, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, and how was it? GoldenEye Rogue Agent. Yeah, all those for like $12.
Why did you buy Rogue Agent?
Because it was there and it was completed.
Is interesting.
I like how you didn't say good. it's interesting.
It's interesting.
I
do also
like, two pigeons have like hardcore rape sex is interesting.
Wow, wow!
Our
What the
views
fuck?
of interesting are very, very different.
Yeah.
I like the fact that I'm working with Bond villains. You like terrible, terrifying things.
Can I help it if the pigeons are just getting it on at the bottom of my garden, and I happen to be standing there, possibly videotaping? No. Let's move on.
Wow. Yeah, let's move on. So that's what I scored a bunch of stuff, which is pretty cool, and stuff that I added to my collection, which I feel decent about.
And also Rogue Agent.
Yeah, sure. So that was my that's it for me, at least. I don't. Wow, we actually kind of ended we're actually kind of at the point of a podcast where it's like we don't have anything else planned, and there's like
we're ending on time. Like holy
we're ending
shit.
on time.
We didn't talk about what we've played this week.
Oh, we didn't talk about. No, we didn't. So we didn't start with that.
I don't mean.
I guess
we
we
could
could
mention illusion of like being on time.
I guess we could end with it, and then we can end the podcast on time.
Monster
still.
Hunter.
So you've been playing Monster Hunter?
So much Monster Hunter.
I actually need to open my copy of Monster Hunter. It's sitting on top of my Wii U.
And then in April, when the patch comes out, we need to hunt.
Yes, I will hunt monsters with you, Zed, I promise. I did play the 3DS version. I do have the 3DS version as well, and I was playing that in PAX, which was kind of fun.
I wasn't going to buy the 3DS version, but now I'm going to my girlfriend's place on Wednesday until Saturday, so I'm kind of thinking...
you need to buy it.
Tomorrow, transfer save, sit and play Monster Hunter while she's playing Infinite.
Yeah, there you go. Sounds like a good idea. Brooke, what about you, man? I know you were busy with PAX, so I don't know if you got to play much.
I haven't been playing Pokemon Black 2.
I am so sorry.
Oh shit! Sorry. Sorry. I've got Meloetta. I don't know whether this will mean anything to anyone, but they started doing the Meloetta event around Britain in various game stores. And
I think they did it. They've been doing it in the US as well.
I think the Meloetta event yesterday actually in the US. It was the 24th was the last day.
And I stood in game, the staff all crowded around with their 3DSs, and we all discussed Pokemon, while some dude wanted to buy like Battlefield, and we were all just like, psh.
Good.
Battlefield.
Excellent. Anyway, no, that was a reference. Ray was a bro and sent me an extra copy that he had kicking around. I just haven't had the time to post that out. But yeah, like you said, I was busy with PAX. I haven't really been playing anything. I've been playing some Blacklight Retribution today to try out the Onslaught mod, which is essentially zombies, but a little more than that. Yeah, that's it. That's all.
Okay. Right on. I do actually have Turnip wants to join the call, so he actually will join the call in a second. But let's go over the rest of what everybody else is playing first. What about you, Brett? Have you been playing anything interesting lately?
I've mostly been working on my handheld backlog. I'm about to beat Castlevania Portrait of Ruin, because I didn't want to start a PS3 game because I'm getting Bioshock. And I was like, no, I'm going to work. There's no point in me working on a PS3 game because I'm just going to take it out and put it in Bioshock, and then Bioshock's going to sit in my PS3 for like 2 weeks.
Right.
So
makes sense.
I've got to finish Metal Gear
Solid
4.
Oh, no, I will tell anybody that is interested, GameStop's running a promotion for Bioshock. If you buy the game and the strategy guide and the season pass for all the DLC, which Bioshock Infinite has no multiplayer, so it's all single player DLC. If you buy all those, you get $20 off of your total purchase. The season pass is $20. You are essentially buying the game and the guide and getting the season pass for free.
That's pretty cool.
I'm doing it.
If the DLC is as good as Minerva's Den, then that will be amazing.
Well, I mean, it's the season pass, so it's everything. Plus, apparently, they were like, yes, when you pre-order or buy the season pass right at launch, you get the early bird pack. What the fuck is the early bird pack? It's like a fuck ton of upgrade shit. I was like, alright, sure. Whatever. Oh, and another thing for us, Brennan.
Yes.
If you pre-order Age of Empires 2 HD, you get to play it early on the 5th. It officially launches on the 9th.
Sweet. Well, I will be pre-ordering that.
Yes, I believe I'm going to this Friday, which, I mean, it is 10% off. We save a couple bucks.
Yeah. But being able to play it as soon as possible is also on my priority list.
Oh my god, yes. I cannot fucking wait.
Right on.
I am dying.
Right on. Deadpool, what about you? You've been kind of silent since you joined the call.
He's asleep.
Did you fall back asleep?
I'm not asleep. Shut up. I've actually been playing several games over the last week.
Oh, I see.
Instead of playing Final Fantasy VI at all, because I think I kind of took a break from that this week. Yeah.
Thank you for not doing that.
Don't worry, I have all next week off, so...
Deadpool, you're being a robot.
You're Zal-going a bit.
You're being a bit of a robot.
You're as bad at talking as you are at Final Fantasy.
Nope, that's not better.
Deadpool coming to us live from Rapture.
Is it still happening?
No, you're good.
I have absolutely no idea what causes that.
It keeps happening.
So instead of playing... I have all next week to play that, so don't worry, that's coming back.
Okay, sweet.
Boy.
I'm excited.
I finished off Stuntman Ignition on stream with Turnip.
Oh, cool.
That was a pain in the fucking ass.
I can imagine.
I played the fuck out of Borderlands.
No, there we go.
He must be on the run from the Big Daddies.
Hold on. Maybe I'm downloading something on Steam.
You should probably check that. I guess
Is it a Sonic game?
No, I'm not downloading it. What the fuck? Is it still happening?
No,
I don't know.
I think you might
Deliver
be
a monologue.
Yeah, real quick. So played Borderlands 2, played Neverwinter Online, which everyone should play because it's fun as shit. Holy crap!
It actually is really good. I played with him, and I mean, most of you know me that I don't really like MMOs. It was really fucking fun.
It's an MMO with a lock-on button. It's really good. And then shit. The last game I played was Day of Defeat Source. That's what I've been playing lately.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
That is an oldie but a goodie right there.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I've been playing. I'm gonna shut up now.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to add Turnip to the call real quick. I guess we'll chat with him for a little bit, and then I guess we'll end the podcast a little beyond on time, unfortunately. But Turnip is here, and I do enjoy having Turnip, my daily dose of, Turnip.
Vegetables.
Yeah, daily dose of vegetables. Vegetable is important for every meal.
Particular vegetable is 2-star protein. If you combine it with meat, it will give you an attack boost and extra health.
Hey guys.
Hey, Turnip.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Glad to hear you guys survived PAX.
Yeah, not too worse for wear from what I can tell. Thankfully.
Yeah. So I've been playing some 2012 games because there was that sale at Target.
Yes.
Where you got one free, so I got a few games I've been meaning to, like Lollipop Chainsaw.
Cool.
Oh, you poor bastard.
No, that was fun. I thought that was...
I couldn't stand it, and I'm a huge Suda 51 fan.
I actually had a lot of fun with it. The combat's pretty cool. I don't know, what didn't you like about it?
Actually, my problem was the combat. Was that even as I was buying new moves, none of them felt different.
Huh.
You realise that Suda has very little to do with actual gameplay.
He just sits there.
He pretty much does context. He's pretty much like...
Well, I mean, I'm a Suda 51 fan, but, by proxy, I'm a fan of Grasshopper. Because that's his studio.
I personally still think his best game was Killer 7.
That's a good game.
I think his best game was No More Heroes. I like Killer 7, but goddamn the controls of Killer 7. Seriously. I mean, fucking seriously.
See, that's how you know he doesn't have anything to do with the game. Although, I don't know, I mean, you might think, well, maybe he designed it that way because he's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
He just
Killer
thought, you
7,
know what?
yeah, I agree with my Killer 7. It's my favorite, too.
You can just move around too easily. We need to obfuscate the ability to move.
Although I think my biggest complaint really wasn't the movement controls, it was how slowly you aimed, but also when you would go into some rooms and like one of the monsters would spawn like right in your face and there is no way in fuck you could bring your gun up in time. I hated that. That was just stupid.
I don't know, I did alright.
Oh, la-di-da.
It's been too long. How long is that game? I can't remember what was particularly hard about it. Because it's been like 4 years.
Headshots were quite tricky.
But anyway, I don't know. I like the, I actually got into the combos in Lollipop Chainsaw. Like, there's that one where you can make yourself like kind of a vertical scythe. There's like, you can make a vertical and horizontal scythes. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It had potential, but it's
very short.
Yeah, that was another problem.
Unless you're into like redoing it in hard mode.
I really, really like the boss fights. I thought the boss fights were easily the best part of the entire game.
I like how they all were based on music. Like all the bosses are different styles of musicians. Like he had Zed, who was the punk rocker.
Yeah. That was probably
Zed, you're a punk rocker?
Apparently, yeah.
He was cool.
Oh, okay.
And
the guy in Lollipop oh, he's just a big emo.
Then there was like,
why does my name keep getting attached to like shitty characters in things?
I don't know. Someday he'll get
him. There's that guy in LOL that's like some sort of grimdark ninja twat.
Maybe you just need to think about your nickname selection.
Everybody else needs to think about their
Fiction.
character.
The guy who gets killed down in the rape room in Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah, you were a rapist.
Zed's dead, baby.
At least he owned a bike.
Yeah, but your bike was stolen. Men. Your bike was stolen by Bruce Willis.
Yeah. Zed's dead. So besides that, Syndicate for the PS3, I like that too.
What?
It was good.
I didn't play that.
It was. I didn't have high expectations, and I didn't pay that much for it, so I wasn't like, yeah, this better be fucking great. But it was fun, and people are actually still playing the co-op, which really surprised me. But not too many. I'm starting to recognize the same people.
Hey, that's not the worst thing in the world.
They're the people who wanted it to be like this sort of return to form for Syndicate, and they just won't let go of the fact that the game just isn't Syndicate.
Well,
they're just like, no, it is good. It is good. Shut up. It is.
It's nothing like that.
Cry at their sad.
Zed, you've said that. Zed, I'm sure you've said that probably about like a Zelda game before.
No. Because they are. Shut up.
I've been playing a bunch of shooters lately. You know, I told you about Crysis. I didn't really like it, and Far Cry 3 was pretty good. I like this better than those two.
You didn't like Crysis 1?
Crysis 3.
Oh, Crysis 3. Okay, yeah.
Said Crysis 3. Yeah.
That's okay.
I always thought Crysis was supposed to just be like a tech demo.
Yeah, it is kind of, isn't it? Like, here's what we can do with all our tech that's here.
Would you like to license our engine? Look at all the amazing shit you could probably do if you were a competent designer.
More than competent, but
somewhere around chat,
proficient.
Actually, there was a video floating around. Someone linked it that was a bunch of stuff demoing the in development on the Crytek engine, or the Cry engine. That's it.
I think they're doing a remake of somebody somewhere was trying to mod like a remake of Snatcher on the Cry engine.
Yes, on the Cry engine. No, I'm sure it's in progress. The Cry engine is not
becoming its own game.
Yeah, the Cry engine is not a anytime you talk about an engine, it's not, you have to know somebody that knows how to develop stuff on said engine, it's not the easiest thing in the world to just jump in on. It's
also not really the kind of thing that's taught.
Yeah, you don't really go to school to learn about how to program stuff for the CryEngine.
My girlfriend's doing a game development course, and they're teaching her the Unreal Engine because that's mostly what, AAA studios use. But
AAA studios use them. Well, the CryEngine's sort of also a newer engine. The Unreal Engine has been around in at least an iteration of itself since like late 1990s.
Did I? Yeah, they had a module where they had to make a Flash game, but they had to cancel it because none of the lecturers knew how to code for Flash, so they couldn't mark it.
That's a little different, but yeah, okay, I can see that. I mean, it's the same sort of concept with it's the same sort of. Oh god, I don't know where I was going with that. I'm just gonna shut up now.
I think it's kind of funny that Unreal, they just make engines now. They just fuck games.
Yeah,
we're just gonna make these engines, and everyone uses them. So
me and Deadpool would give anything for another fucking Unreal game.
Those are fun.
Unreal tournament game.
Gun designs, really, that was the kind of highlight for me. It was like,
oh yeah, man,
crazy guns.
The rocket launcher was just so awesome and unique, as opposed to like a lot of the rocket launchers in the other games, where it's just like this one fucking it's a tube that shoots rockets. Woo! Like that, they came up with this whole different design concept for one, and I remember the alternated attack was such a big deal too. Like back in the day, like because alternate attack in the original Unreal Tournament was something you just didn't see really in other games.
And now they just make Gears.
Yeah, now they just make fucking Gears. Epic. Damn it, Epic.
Well, Cliffy
it's
B
weird,
writes Tumblr blog about how to get women or something.
Yeah. Cliffy had his what's it called? God damn, I just died in my
Crisis?
Head. Oh, yeah, he has Midlife Crisis at PAX East. In the form of the PAX East opener speech thing. Keynote. There you go. That's the word.
Was it depressing? Did he?
Dude, I don't fucking know. I didn't go.
Come out as like this sort of almost close to balding, obviously dyes his hair, 30-something man who's still trying to pretend to be super frat bro.
I'm gonna say maybe because I didn't go to it because I don't give Cliffy B a piece. I wouldn't give Cliffy B a piece of my time nowadays.
I wouldn't piss on him if it was buried in the street.
Wow.
His last game was that. The racing. No wait, the Mortar Kombat. The fuck was that game? Where and it was kind of dumb because it was only online. What the fuck was that? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The last game that Cliffy B made.
I don't think Cliffy B has done anything for years. I think he just sits around being a public face of a company. And then he decided, you know what, I'm worth more as a public face on my own, so I'm going to go and get a Tumblr blog.
I'm going to say Twisted Metal?
No, he didn't do Twisted Metal.
No, that was David Jaff.
That was David Jaff.
Okay. Someone else.
His last game that he made was Gears of War 3.
Alright, I was thinking of someone else that kind of retired from making games.
David Jaff makes iOS shit now.
Turnip, for a while there, I thought you were talking about this weird-ass MMO that I played, oh god, probably close to 10 years ago, called, was it Auto Assault?
I remember Auto Assault.
Yeah, I played Auto Assault.
Auto Assault was a Cars
MMO. And it wasn't.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
I liked it,
was.
though.
You mean that game that should have been, what was it? Oh shit, what was the name of that game? Hang on. I'll be back, I'll come back.
Zed'll be right back, apparently.
Vigilante 8.
There you go.
It should have been fucking Vigilante 8, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now all we've got is Twisted Metal.
I think so, yeah.
But
it was very unfortunate. Alright, do we have anything further to add to the conversation?
Well, have any of you played the Adventure Time game?
I have it for the 3DS. I picked it up last week, part of that Best Buy sale.
I also own it. I pre-ordered it because I'm that person.
It's not out in Britain. Fuck living.
Really?
Not only did I pre-order it, I pre-ordered the collector's edition.
So you got like the big box that looks like the book.
Come to America, Zed. We have acting careers.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do.
Well, I guess you do for British people.
Yeah.
Dude, Americans love British people. It's like
you need to fill out the cast of Game of Thrones.
It's actually kind of scary how much we like British people.
Like
owing that like 300 years ago we didn't.
I was looking up Ender's Game because the film comes out this year.
Oh yeah, I'm hyped.
And like the kid
which I know Deadpool is very hyped about.
I'm hyped but pensive.
Yeah, because like the kid who plays him is like 16, and it's just like that's not what Ender's Game is.
I don't mind.
No, man, it's the future. It's the future.
I don't mind them fudging.
12-year-old can look like a 16-year-old nowadays, so.
Yeah, I don't mind them fudging some of the details of it. Like if they want to make Ender a little older, I'm okay with that, as long as it doesn't lose like that main feeling, you know, that whole feeling of Ender's Game. Plus, if they, I know they won't because it wouldn't make any sense, but if they change that twist at the end,
right,
with the simulation.
Ah, yeah.
Because I had to reread that because I was like, because when I read it, and then I kept reading. I was like, wait a minute, what did I just fucking read? What the fuck?
They're gonna cut out like
just like what the fuck?
They're probably gonna cut out a lot.
He goes to Earth and like he has a little log cabin and you know he just decides that he doesn't want to.
Well, I mean, they're probably gonna cut out the parts with the bullies, or like.
But that's like the best bit.
Okay, they probably won't cut out the parts with the bullies, but they'll probably cut out like what happens.
No, I think they'll show him killing that guy
in the shower.
I was trying not to say that just in case.
Probably wouldn't cut
it's
out
probably
any of the
going to be like a
parts.
huge part of the trailer anyway. They're gonna be like, this dude just headbutts this other guy in the face in the showers, and it's great.
It'll still be rated PG-13 as long as they don't say fuck.
I was trying not to give away spoilers in case somebody had not read. And
spoilers? You should have read Ender's Game.
Book is like 20 years old. Go fucking read it right now.
I know. I understand.
I will break this beer bottle over the table, and then I will travel to wherever you are and stab you with it.
Well, you're reading Ender's Game.
Read the sequels.
Yes.
I did read a little bit into the Shadow Hegemony, but not a whole lot.
I think you can probably just read Ender's Game and you'll be okay.
If you are bored.
Whoa.
Sorry.
and now a message from our robot overlord.
Also, you should probably, like, if you want to read them, like, pirate them or get them for free, because Orson Scott Card is actually kind of a dick.
Hello?
Like, as a person, he's just fundamentally shit.
If you are bored by books, the entire series with the sequels and everything is all now in comic book form.
And it's fantastic.
And there's a prequel comic that they didn't write into a book.
Yes.
Interesting.
And unfortunately, we're still leagues away from having a game that is basically the games of Ender's Game, which should quite obviously happen.
You could argue that a lot of the military shooters are a lot like those. I guess if they're more strategic.
But
and
really,
specifically. But I was thinking of just how they're training kids to, you know.
Zed, have you never ever heard of Shattered Horizon?
No.
Okay.
Right,
after podcast, I will educate the
shit out of you. Are you in an arena? Are you in like teams? Do you have like freezing guns and goals? And...
Actually, yeah, it's pretty close to that. But if you think about the simulation that they do for the troops, or for like the ships, from the way it's described, from what I remember, it has been a few years since I read it. It just sounded like an RTS version of Asteroids.
Pretty much.
So I mean, really, you could make that, but you could be like, it's the Ender's Game, like the training simulation. Oh man, I'm gonna play the fuck out of this, and then everybody's gonna play it and be like, what the hell is this? It's like
and then
fucking
you get to the
Asteroids.
end, and there's just a screen that says, "Congratulations, you just killed like millions of people."
You committed genocide. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Species is wiped out.
All right.
Anyway, I don't know how we got on this tangent. I was gonna say Adventure Time. I brought it up just because I have real mixed feelings about it. I just finished it today. It's weird. It's kind of like two games. Like on one hand, they put a ton of work into all the graphics of the characters and the backgrounds and the music and stuff. But on the other hand, it's a really half-assed game.
Isn't it supposed to be like Zelda?
It
reminds me of Link's Adventure. Yeah.
But like nothing, but not as detailed. It's like half the game Zelda 2 was. I don't know. It's like they had two teams or something. Like one team was in charge of just like graphics and stuff, and the other team was like, okay, we're just gonna put this game together. Let's get it done.
See, if I was gonna do an Adventure Time game, it'd have to be like, because of plot reasons, Jake can only transform into like certain things, and you use that in like a Metroidvania, which also has like amazing combat. That would pretty much be it. I don't understand how that's difficult.
It's like that in the Jake can only Jake's in your backpack. He can only do certain things that gradually unlock. The combat's pretty awful. It's just jumping and swinging your sword, getting knocked around.
See, how do you mess that up?
I guess they ran out of budget or ran out of time, or I can't imagine that you get a license as great as Adventure Time and be like, okay, we're just gonna half-ass this, like. I don't know what happened. I'd be interested to know, what exactly was going through their heads.
They probably just thought, oh, it's a licensed game, phone it in.
Yeah, I mean, they basically did. Except for the people that made the little Jake sprites. All the characters look great.
Wasn't it made by Way Forward?
Yeah, it's Way Forward.
See, they have this really sort of sketchy past, where on the one hand they do amazing things like Contra 4, and I think they did A Boy and His Blob.
Aliens was good too, the Aliens for the DS.
And then on the other hand, you look at like their licensed games, other than Aliens, and it's just like, what are you doing? How are you the same people?
Maybe it's not the same people. I mean, who knows?
Maybe. Alright, so I just noticed that apparently Donut just beat the game, so that might be a good idea. That might be a good good point for us to try. A natural conclusion to the podcast, I think. Also, Donut's opinion is that Way Forward has been overrated in most aspects, but Kerfman is amazing. So Donut gets to put his opinion into the podcast as well this week. So that's pretty cool. Exactly. So on that note, I am going to wrap it up. Okay. Thank you all for watching and listening to the podcast this week. Join us next week, where we probably will try to stay to the normal schedule, so Sunday evening at 9 o'clock. And next week, maybe we'll, I don't know, try a little harder. Yeah, there we go. So, this evening I have been joined by Zed, Rook, Donut as our streamer, Brightside, Deadpool, and Turdup here joining us at the tail end of the call. Thank you all for listening, and we will talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.